books on the floor, very hard to find anything. Still, even, and it's amazing how badly YouTube has sort of fumbled that area in terms of making it incredibly difficult to find anything worthwhile that you want. At the same time, I was a little confused by what you're doing there, because there were so many elements on the page of all the various things you could do with creating all these channels. I can just see people going into these sort of cul-de-sacs of nicheness that doesn't sort of surface truly what you're interested in. So that would be a worry for me. And I guess I assume you're going to integrate more professional content in there, because that's what most people do.
Yes.
Click on, aside from the occasional user-generated video that's very popular, like the crying guy or whatever.
Yes, the most popular channels that people subscribe to are television channels. So meaning they're television shows of which they are fans. And as to your first point, that's the reason that we have this Uber channel that you can always return to. And if you go down a particular road and you hit a cul-de-sac, you can always click home and return to the mashup of all of your interests.
So I actually like what you've done both on the indexing side, because to the YouTube point, YouTube is just one of the sources. Right?
Yep.
And today there are countless sources on the net globally, so I think the ability to aggregate and index that is very valuable.
Yep.
I also like the adaptive features, because I think it's going to be very hard for users to offer a very detailed profile of what they like. It's going to be something that evolves and is dynamic. It's going to depend on their social networks. So I really like both those concepts, right? Now, so the thing that you didn't obviously talk about is how do you plan to make money?
Yeah.
Right?
So
Other than someone acquiring you right away, like YouTube.
I'll give you the fast version. Oh, it's gone, but that's okay. So we've got 4 revenue streams, and we've positioned Fast Forward as a central and a central and cooperative element within the emerging video entertainment ecosystem, right? So the first thing is, since we're driving audience to our content partners, we've set up a business relationship that looks like how a local affiliate operates with regards to a national network. So it's a syndication model where we share in the revenue from advertising within the stream. The second one is we're providing interoperability on an open platform to hardware and software platforms. And there the model is of being a component brand, and so we're licensing our intellectual property to those folks.
And so that's a licensing fee there.
That's a licensing fee, or some sort of value exchange. Fourth, for retailers, we can provide both targeted and recurring demand information. So we have a sense of subscriptions, as well as someone is interested in this content right now. And we can basically make
You make money of selling the profiles, basically.
Say that again?
You make money of selling the profiles.
We make money
or
selling
from an aggregate,
the event.
Yeah.
So at this moment in time, this person is ready for this content. And then the last one is sort of like a radio promoter in the music industry. Since we have all this market information, we can provide targeted promotion for content producers.
I'm not there in terms of grasping how this whole thing is going to work. I understand the need for better navigation, for better channels, but I'm not convinced that being able to tap into my friends, because I have very different viewing situations than my friends do. And I think a lot of people, even though they may be in the same stage of life and everything, my concern is that the places where people normally go already for their video viewing, whether it be Hulu, CBS, YouTube, it's not great, but it's decent enough that I can just go there. To have to go to someplace else to develop that new relationship is meaning that you're going to have to you're going to have to have such a compelling value proposition and get all the friends onto that too.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and so we're not, we're not entirely intent on breaking people's existing relationships, which is why we've integrated with services like Ffwd, where activity that takes place elsewhere that's relevant to us only enhances our ability to serve that customer better. At the end of the day, we are in the audience business, and so we will succeed if we provide an overall better experience than having to search. It's one thing when you've got like 6 sites that you're searching through, but 5 years from now, when we're dealing with the distribution of content becoming a commoditized feature inside of other services, and it's spread across a bunch of websites, that becomes a much bigger problem.
I think I'm just also thinking about at a higher level, do I want to go deeper into a show that I love? So having a water cooler experience with my Lost fans, wherever they may be, my friends or people I don't know across all the different social networks, highly leveraged in that area. Or do I want to go wide? And I think that's a fundamental question on people have limited time.
Right.
And if they already have developed passions, they're talking about a very specific area which is on discovery. And there's so much to discover already inside those existing experiences that they have, whether they want to go someplace
I think
else.
I think Trillian's dead right. I mean, YouTube has to solve this problem on some level, and so does Hulu and the bigger, Hulu maybe, but just with the bigger sites rather than, it seems like you're a feature inside of something rather than a destination site for sure. Or they, sort of what happened at TiVo, they should have been more widespread and they focused on the box and that was their biggest,
We have time for more questions from the audience, if there are any, or more comments? Yes.
A couple of things. In terms of your brand, it feels very youth focused. What do you see as your primary target? And then two, how do you see yourself establishing, yourself as a brand, especially when you have so many people sort of entering the space?
So I think that our focus, just by the very nature of what we're doing, has to be an internet savvy audience. It's not necessarily a technically savvy audience. The art of what we're doing is to make a lot of the technologies appear simple. So when we're building into a television set, or as I demoed with the Wii, using a simple set of navigation tools makes it an accessible experience to someone who maybe doesn't even know how to program their VCR. And in fact, they no longer need to program their VCR in as much as we're already collecting the content for them.
Great. Thank you very much. Unless there was